Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today?
I thought you'd never
John.
ask. Heidi, today is Friday, September the 24th. Holy cow.
is.
National Cherries Jubilee Day. You sound pretty jubilant over there. National Punctuation Day, period. National Brave Day. And it's also National Gay Men's HIV/AIDS Awareness Day.
Alrighty.
And it's the Schwenkenfelder Thanksgiving today. So there you go.
Okay.
All of those things happening. And my guest today is out of this world. I should maybe tell you who it is, and then that would make more sense. Our guest today is Steve Smith, astronaut who's traveled over 16 million miles in space, 4 space shuttle missions, 7 spacewalks. I'm super excited to visit with him.
That's
I
pretty
think
impressive.
this might be the first time I've ever talked to anyone who's ever left this planet.
Huh.
Well, I don't know. We've had a couple of celebrities that I think might have. All right.
At least think they might.
Yeah. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday.
Addiction. It's not a pretty thing. Addiction can lead to many problems in your life. Addiction can drive away those who love you the most. And addiction can lead to the loss of jobs, relationships, and even your life. Don't let addiction tear your life apart anymore. Get the help you need to defeat addiction and put the pieces back together in your life. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. They want to help. Timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. Researchers say only 1 in 5 cocaine users wind up becoming addicted. Only 1 in 5.
Only 1 in 5.
Only 20%. Study goes on to say that serotonin levels rise from cocaine consumption. Scientists believe it actually could be the reason more people do not become addicted.
Huh.
And there's others that only do it because they like the way it smells. A new survey reveals that half of Americans simply knew their partner was the one, and they instantly knew that when they met them. Heidi, what do you think?
I knew.
She knew? Who, me or someone else?
You.
Okay, good. According to the results, it took the typical respondent 2 years to decide whether or not they wanted to be with their partner for, quote, the rest of their lives. So I beat that by a little bit anyway.
Yeah, you did.
No, I knew right away. I was like, oh, hey, I kind of like her. She's got beautiful eyes. Very, what does he always say about people?
Kind eyes.
Kind eyes. See, that's the thing. She's got kind eyes.
Yep.
It's not really what I said. All right. Surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
Do you have a credit card? We'd like to help you get a better credit card. If you don't have any credit cards, we'd like to help you too. At BetterCreditCards.com, we have credit cards that offer different things for different people. Some cards offer points. Some cards are designed to help you build your credit. BetterCreditCards.com wants to help you get a better credit card, no matter what you're looking for. See if we can help you find a better credit card at BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com.
This is your Brain on Drugs brought to you by TimeForRehab.com. An Ohio woman reportedly woke up to discover somebody napping in her guest room.
Oh.
And that person had broken in overnight, taken a swim in the pool, and then eaten the family's leftover chicken. Helped himself to everything in the house, she said. It's a bizarre break-in that happened. She and her husband and her son and brother-in-law all live in this home, and she said she saw a light in the spare room that there's usually nobody in.
Right.
And she walked in and found the not-so-smooth criminal snoozing. The quick-thinking woman, whose husband, Raymond Pierce, had already left for work, woke up her brother-in-law, and he chased the intruder out of the home. It remains unclear how the man got into the home. The husband spied the guy walking in the street shirtless before he left for work at 4 a.m., He reportedly waited until the wackadoo passed before driving away. Thankfully, the sleepy chicken snatcher was arrested by police, who suspected he was intoxicated and brought him to the hospital for examination.
There you go.
He got slapped with a burglary charge and issued a court summons. So they're wondering how he got in the house. I'm guessing when the husband left, he forgot the front door open.
Probably.
And I don't know. I should be like a private eye or something. I just solved that. That is what happens when your brain is on drugs. Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. Jennifer Aniston recently did an interview on a British morning TV program where the host interrupted her several times and appeared very confused by her answers.
Okay.
And then the guy tried saying something along the lines of, apparently you're not a morning person. You know, he was like blaming it on
Whoa.
her. But the whole time she was trying to be polite, and he was just very confused.
That's super rude.
There's a video online. If you watch it, he doesn't look it looks bad. It looks not so great. It's been a while since we heard anything about True Lies reboot, with the second attempt at turning the classic Schwarzenegger blockbuster into a TV show being announced back in February.
Right.
4 years after the previous reboot stalled, we now know that Steve Howley, fresh off 11-season run on Shameless, has been cast as Harry Tasker in the role that Schwarzenegger had in the film. Similar to True Lies, the pilot follows a happily married man, Harry, and his wife and daughter remain oblivious to his real job of him being, a spy.
Right.
Of course, they become drawn into the adventure that blows up the door to his secret wide open and puts his spouse in harm's way. And, the
That was
rest-
a great movie.
It really was. So it'll be interesting to see if that makes it back. Big Screen, Little Screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com.
At WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com, we help you get ready for all the fun holidays throughout the year with fun, silly, and just plain weird gift ideas for your friends. If you have a friend who has a bizarre sense of humor, we've got a gift for them. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com posts a link to something that will make you smile each and every day. Whether you buy these weird gifts or not, it's worth checking out just for a smile. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. That's WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
Now your scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have landed the coveted spot of Time Magazine's 100 most influential people of the last year. Influential? Is that the right word?
I wouldn't say so. They haven't influenced me at all, but
Influenced a lot of people to be angry about things. No, the thing that's weird is they said, we just want to get out of the spotlight.
Yeah, we don't want to
And
be...
then they keep climbing their way back into the
they
spotlight.
sure do.
I don't know. New report claims
Not my
celebrities...
circus, not my monkeys.
Yeah, that's true. New report claims that celebrities are now getting high smoking toad venom.
Okay.
Where does one find toad venom?
Really?
I don't really want to know. SpaceX has announced they're going to be launching a civilian crew into orbit. So
Okay.
it's kind of cool. Would you want to go?
No, you already know the answer to that.
I knew you didn't want to. Good news is I can't afford to send you anything. Indianapolis firefighters battled a massive fire at an auto yard that destroyed approximately 40 cars. Can you imagine that?
No,
Not
that's
good.
insane.
New York City police had to rescue a man who fell into a storm drain and landed 30 feet
Oh,
down below into the storm drain. That is a long way.
I would assume he had some broken bones.
I don't know. I don't know what happened. Doesn't say if he was banged up or not, but I'm guessing. Weird story here. Charleston, South Carolina. Authorities show up. They shut down a street because somebody saw a woman stuffing a really large package into a mailbox. So they saw this oversized package being jammed in there. The package was retrieved. It contained a wedding dress. It was being returned.
Oh,
So they're like, oh, I don't know what's going on. She seemed angry. She's jamming it into the mailbox. Well, she's sending back a wedding dress.
she's probably not having the best day.
It's not how my day was supposed to go. There you go. That is your scoop of the day. Comes your way courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com.
Early to bed, early to rise makes you healthy, wealthy, and wise. This is a great quote from Benjamin Franklin. At InsuranceChicken.com, we know a thing or two about great quotes. We help people get great insurance quotes every day. It's super simple and free to find out if we can make you healthy, wealthy, and wise. Okay, I can't guarantee that, but I can assure you we'd love to help at InsuranceChicken.com. We want to help you peck out great deals on insurance. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Super excited for our guest today. He is out of this world. Well, he's on this world right now, but he has been. Steve Smith, former NASA astronaut. Steve, I think you may be the only guest I've ever talked to that's left this planet and come back.
Well, I'm glad we did come back, and it's something I still dream about every day. Flying in space was awesome, and I'd do it again.
And over 16 million miles in space on 4 different shuttle missions, 7 spacewalks. I mean, that is pretty cool. When you were a little kid, did you kind of dream of doing this, or how did you end up becoming an astronaut?
Yeah, I did. I was watching the explorers of the day. Jacques Cousteau was exploring the oceans. The astronauts were exploring space. And I grew up in an area here in California where we could explore nature quite a bit. So I always wanted to be an explorer. It took me a really long time to make it. I was around 30 years of age, and had overcome 4 rejections by NASA before becoming an astronaut. But it was well worth the wait.
So there's a new documentary that just recently came out, and it's going around to film festivals, and people are really loving this. Zero Gravity. Tell me a little bit about this film.
Well, the timing is absolutely incredible, isn't it? With all the different space things going on, all these commercial space flights. We've got 4 civilians in space right now on a SpaceX spaceship. In any case, it's a film about a group of middle schoolers, a very diverse group here in California, that learn to code, even at the age of 12 and up. And what they're learning to do is to code to control spaceships that are actually in space, inside the International Space Station, that's traveling at 17,500 miles an hour. So at the beginning of this program, you have these children who know nothing about coding. And by the end of the program, you follow kind of their family life stories. But by the end of the program, they're actually controlling spaceships in space against other teams of middle schoolers across the nation. Really inspirational.
And the thing that's neat about this is there is a whole new generation who, like when you were talking about, you were growing up and you saw Jacques Cousteau exploring. So we've got to make sure we continually reach this next generation and get them interested in exploring. There's a lot of stuff to see out there, and I think this film could help get a lot of people interested in this.
Oh, absolutely. There's so much information and, bright, shiny objects out there for youth these days. So it's wonderful to see this NASA program and the middle school teachers really perform magic with these kids. And, some of them will, I think, definitely come up and stay in the math and science field, and some of them will become coders. But on the bigger picture, it also just inspired them to do something really big and something that took them out of their comfort zone and taught them this lesson that, you can push yourself. And I think for viewers of the film, it was a reminder that we shouldn't underestimate the amazing capabilities that young people have. I have 2 kids myself. They're in their 20s now, and continually during their life, I realized I was underestimating the amazing things they could do.
Now, we've got an astronaut on the phone with us, so I got to talk to you a little bit more about space. Otherwise, I'm going to probably get booted off this show. So when you were in outer space, when you were there, because, again, you 16 million miles, what is that experience like? Is it close to the simulator that you did on the ground here, or is it completely different?
It's really both. They prepare us really well. We spent a couple of years preparing to go into space. Riding the rocket into space is this kind of violent, shaking experience, but you're experiencing 3 times your body weight. That's pretty hard to simulate before you do it. But once you're in space, you've got this magical place where there's no gravity. And so your listeners can imagine if we could turn gravity off in the room that they're in right now, how bizarre it would be. It's almost like being in a science fiction movie, except it's actually happening. So that zero gravity is really this magical experience where you can end up, sleeping on the ceiling and moving large objects around with no effort at all. And then looking out the window, yeah, that's pretty hard to prepare people for in space. You hear about how amazing it is, but when you look at the Earth through the window, it's really this moment of awe, AWE, where it's just stunning. So
you're the only person I've talked to who's been to outer space. You just talked about looking out the window and seeing Earth. For the flat earthers out there, can we let them know for sure, is the Earth flat or is it a globe?
No, it's definitely round. Otherwise, we would fall off the end. Instead, we just go around and around. So it's been proven by the physics. Awesome, beautiful sight. It looks like a blue, green, white island in a vast black ocean. So we do live on an island.
That is awesome. Steve, thank you so much for the time today. We appreciate it a bunch.
You bet. ZeroGravityFilm.com. It's a great inspirational movie. Thanks so much.
Absolutely. Again, Zero Gravity, and I've got the website in the show notes. It's ZeroGravityFilm.com.
Addiction. It's not a pretty thing. Addiction can lead to many problems in your life. Addiction can drive away those who love you the most. And addiction can lead to the loss of jobs, relationships, and even your life. Don't let addiction tear your life apart anymore. Get the help you need to defeat addiction and put the pieces back together in your life. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. They want to help. Timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Shoelaces untie themselves because the knot is subjected to forces of up to 7G every time the walker takes a step.
Okay.
So 7 Gs.
I'll buy that.
That's sounds like
I don't know what a G is.
Sounds
but
like a lot of G's.
it must be
7
quite
of
a
them.
bit.
Anyway, that's shoelaces untying themselves. And here I thought it was because we didn't tie our knots right. That is today's fun fact. Now you know. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Do you have a credit card? We'd like to help you get a better credit card. If you don't have any credit cards, we'd like to help you too. At bettercreditcards.com, we have credit cards that offer different things for different people. Some cards offer points. Some cards are designed to help you build your credit. Bettercreditcards.com wants to help you get a better credit card, no matter what you're looking for. See if we can help you find a better credit card at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Now, RadioTravelGroup.com presents a news headline from somewhere in this world. Dateline North Korea. North Korea launched 2 ballistic missiles off their east coast last week.
Great.
2 days after the country said they successfully fired new long-range cruise missiles. So, some folks that are playing around with their rockets again. That's a little concerning to me.
Yeah, that stopped for quite a while, didn't it? It's interesting how here we go again.
Concerning to others, too. That is a news headline from somewhere in this world.
At WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com, we help you get ready for all the fun holidays throughout the year with fun, silly, and just plain weird gift ideas for your friends. If you have a friend who has a bizarre sense of humor, we've got a gift for them. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com posts a link to something that will make you smile each and every day. Whether you buy these weird gifts or not, it's worth checking out just for a smile. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. That's WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
Now some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. A man behind bars after police say he carjacked a person with a knife. This followed a football game. Arrest documents show 42-year-old William Jerome Ellison was booked into jail for aggravated robbery, interfering with an arresting officer, and failing to disclose his identity. Police got a phone call, a 911 call, saying this guy tried to break into somebody's car. They were threatening him with a knife. Later, he was located, and he started fighting with the officer. Some citizens jumped in and assisted. The situation didn't escalate much. The suspect was taken into custody. Once they got him arrested, they found out he has a criminal and a lengthy criminal history, including prison time for a homicide.
Wouldn't you think that all assault is aggravated assault?
Not always. Sometimes you're not.
I don't think they're aggravated.
No. I don't know what the difference is, but apparently not. That is your weird news, brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
John and Heidi.
Time now for your moment of duh, brought to you by BetterResultsAdvertising.com. What a bizarre story. 2 Connecticut women arrested when they flipped out on some kids on a JetBlue flight. 21-year-old Kaylee Thalia Valentine and 23-year-old Desiree Elizabeth Geff allegedly spewed vulgarities at a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old.
Jeez.
Who had tapped and kicked on their seats. I don't understand that. Anyway, I'm going to finish reading the story here. They responded inappropriately when the kids were kicking their seats.
Just a tad.
Yelling and cursing, causing passengers on the plane to get nervous, and the parents of the children were scared. They were yelling and screaming, and multiple passengers approached the people. The troopers showed up and deplaned these young ladies. Troopers were called to the airport due to a complaint from the flight's captain. Cops took the 2 women and the victims from the plane. The women were slapped with charges of breach of peace and impairing the morals of a minor, released on $5,000 bond. JetBlue did not immediately respond to a request when they had a question for this. So, what a bizarre story. You don't do that. I could see you saying, hey, can you guys please stop kicking my chair? That's one thing. But to go nuts on some kids, a 2-year-old and 4-year-old, yeah, don't do that. It's today's moment of duh.
Early to bed, early to rise makes you healthy, wealthy, and wise. This is a great quote from Benjamin Franklin. At InsuranceChicken.com, we know a thing or two about great quotes. We help people get great insurance quotes every day. It's super simple and free to find out if we can make you healthy, wealthy, and wise. Okay, I can't guarantee that, but I can assure you we'd love to help at InsuranceChicken.com. We want to help you peck out great deals on insurance. That's insurancechicken.com.
Time now for Is It a Golf Course or Is It a Rehab Center? Brought to you by Time4Rehab.com. Are you ready, Heidi?
I guess so.
The Ledges, St. George, Utah.
The Ledges.
The Ledges. Is it a golf course or is it a rehab center?
I'm going to say that that's a rehab center.
And you are incorrect.
Ah!
It is a golf course. Although I
How
can
do you golf on a ledge?
really, really carefully.
It must be a tough course.
Probably is. I don't know. That is how we play. Is it a golf course or is it a rehab center? Brought to you by Time4Rehab.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. It comes your way courtesy of bettercreditcards.com. I love this headline. I think I say that every day, by the way.
You do.
A woman pays for 60 strangers' meals at a Pennsylvania diner. Isn't that nice?
Oh.
An anonymous diner decided to treat everyone to lunch at a restaurant in Pennsylvania. So a reopened country diner was packed at lunch rush when a diner asked the manager if she could just pay for everyone's bill.
Oh, wow.
And she said, what are you talking about? I waited on a lady. It was time for her to pay her bill. She came to the register and said, hey, I'd like to pay for my bill, but I'd like to pay for everybody else too. She said, I'm like, are you sure? She said, oh yeah. The anonymous diner paid $350 to cover every customer's meal. She tipped the two servers a total of $100 as well. It was an act of kindness not only for the customers at the diner, but also for the employees, especially during a difficult time. Business had been down. Even though we're opening, we still can't get the help, so we had to reduce our hours, the manager went on to say. The woman wanted to remain anonymous, but employees wanted her to know how many people she touched by her generosity. Says, I'd like to thank you so much. You made our day, and it's wonderful that you did that. That is really cool.
That's super cool. And really, honestly, in the grand scheme of things, that's not a ton of money.
Yeah.
And look at the impact that she had.
Yeah, 60 people. She made the day of 60 people.
Yeah.
And most of these people are
Must
people
be I want to know where that diner is. I want to eat there. 60
for
people, and it was $350.
$350. Yeah. Do the math on that
Have them
quick.
cater our daughter's wedding.
So $350 divided by 60. Let's see how much is that. It's $5.83 a meal.
That's amazing.
So there must have been some people just getting like coffee or something. I don't know. That is a pretty darn good deal. So I can't believe we just did the math on that. Check into this. Might have to go to lunch there. All right. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday.